Wow. I've just finished The Walking Dead. So before I even go into this game, I just want to explain that I'm not going to say any spoilers yet, but when the spoilers part come, I will say to turn the video off if you haven't watched this game, because it's just going to be full of them. But up until then, I won't say anything to spoil it. So first of all then, The Walking Dead. It's a game that everyone's been saying to me, you've got to play, you've got to play. So I went in knowing that it's probably going to be a pretty good game. I played the demo slightly, just tasted it, and I was like, you know what, I like the point and click style, and I like point and click, so obviously this game's going to be up my street. And Joe decided to buy it when it came cheap, and I thought, well, I'm not going to buy it. Joe's got it. I'll just jump on her Xbox, sign it as me, reap the benefits. And I think I jumped on and probably played about 10-15 minutes of the game. And I just couldn't. I think, sometimes you could have the best game in the entire world, but if you're not in the mood for it, you just can't play it. And that's what Walking Dead was to me on that day. I must have just been in the wrong mindset. I probably just wanted some action or something stupid. But anyway, I played it, and I found it a little bit boring. And I went away going, I'm still going to push through, because obviously there's something got to be great about this game, but I'll do it later. And because I thought it was... because I just felt bored for them few minutes, it kind of stopped me playing it. Like, I've always wanted to play it, but it's just been, I'll do that tomorrow, and tomorrow never came. And I think it was yesterday or the day before, I was like, right, I'm going to play Walking Dead. And after episode 1, I was just like, oh my god, why have I not played this any sooner? And I've just sped through all 5 of them, and it's just so good. Now, I would actually go to far as to say I've never given a game a 10 out of 10, and I also say, like, Far Cry is a really, really good game, and I still wouldn't give that 10 out of 10, because there's always room for improvement. But this game, I couldn't pick a fault. There wasn't a bit where you're going, that would have been a bit better. I'm going to say 10 out of 10 at the moment, but I'm off the honeymoon period, you know what I mean? I'm fresh off the game. I've only come off it 10 minutes ago. So I might just be saying it because I'm so in love with the game at the moment. But the time will come and I'll actually sit down and say, you know what, that was a 10 out of 10. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So to anyone who hasn't played it, sort your shit out. Go get that game at no matter what the price is. You need to play this game. And the best thing is, on top of it, if you have got somebody in your life, such as a brother or sister or fucking girlfriend or anything, get them to sit in on it, because it's an amazing game to play with somebody watching. Because I've had a lot of people say they've sat down with their girlfriends and they've enjoyed it all the way through. And like, Joe obviously played it without me, and then when I came to play it, Joe sat down. But luckily enough, my niece has stayed up for the last 2 days, so when she came up, I was like, do you want to watch The Walking Dead? And we just started playing it, and she just sat there. So between us, we made like the decisions, and it was really, really good. And she just all the way through it, which was non-stop, watching the screen. Went to town today, and when we get back, all we do is like, can't wait to go and play Walking Dead, and it's just great. So yeah, if you're going to buy it, try and get some people around you to watch it as well, because it's just an experience that everybody should enjoy. So, spoilers, nothing but spoilers now. I'm going to talk about all the decisions in the game and why I picked them. So if you've not played the game, just end the video now and go buy that bloody thing. So hello everyone that's going to play The Walking Dead. So I just thought I don't want to just say my 2 cents on a video because it's a bit boring. I just wanted to go into some of the decisions and exactly why I picked them. So lucky enough, when you go on to Telltale Games, it actually gives you the stats of the decisions in the game. So I'm just going to read them off and tell you what I picked and why. So the first decision really you have to make in the game is when the walkers attack on Herschel's barn, and you can either save the guy or the child. I went straight with Duck. It was a child, so instantly I went for that. I ain't got to explain myself too much. Quite surprised, it's a 50-50, so a lot of people went for the adult instead of the kid. But I don't need to explain myself anymore. It was a child, so I went to save the kid. Next question is, when you go to Herschel's barn, you're telling the truth that he was actually chained up because he was going to prison. I didn't tell him the truth because I just thought, I think this game won't let me get that much into dialogue, so I'll be able to explain it. I would pick and tell the truth and say, you know what I mean, I was going to prison, and then I'll explain myself a bit more, but I didn't think I'd have enough options to explain myself, and he'd probably just turn on me straight away. So to protect myself, I just went, nah, I wasn't going to tell him. Then when it comes down to Carly or Doug, when you're actually in the chemist or whatever it was, I instantly picked Carly. Now, I didn't pick her because she's a girl, I picked her because she was awesome on the gun, whereas Doug was cool, but he's got the ability to change remote codes, you know what I mean? In the world of zombies, I want someone who can shoot, not somebody who can piss about with electronics, even though it could have come back to bite me if there was a computer thing and needed to hack, but no, Carly knew how to handle a gun, so she got saved. So that bit when he went up the stairs and he actually found that woman, she was bitten and she says, leave me, and then she went, can I have your gun? I decided not to give her a gun because I just think it was a risk. There was 3 of us up there, and if I give her the gun, she could have turned on us. It could have been a lie, it could have been a ruse, you don't know. So I just thought it's too dangerous. If anything, if you want to die, I'm putting that bullet in your brain. You're not having this gun. Then when it came to Duck having blood all over his top, and everyone was like, oh, I could have been bitten. Obviously, I've just protected the kid and saying he didn't get bit and stuck up for him. So that's the decisions in episode 1. So episode 2, the first decision you have to do is the guy's trapped in the bear trap. What do? Chop his leg off. Looking at the stats, I've never seen a bar more pushing me towards. Everyone did the same thing. Everyone chopped the leg off. So it was given. It was the only way he was going to survive. So I chopped it off. Now this one might be a bit of a surprise, but when it came to the woman that had the crossbow at you, and she was obviously a bit crazy, she lost a daughter kind of thing, I instantly shot her. The reason for it is because she just looked like she was detached, she was emotional, she was a bit crazy, I don't know what was going to happen, so I just didn't take the chances. Obviously, she could have been a nice character, she could have been somebody who went all the way through the game. I don't think she was, I think she probably died either way, but the point was, there and then, I took that quick decision of going, she's maybe irrational, might do something dangerous, she's dying, and she did. Now when it came to the old guy with a heart attack and the assault block on the head, lovely scene, I ended up sticking up for Kenny. I was like, yeah, Kenny, just smash his head in, do you know what I mean? He's going to turn, his heart stopped, so kill the guy. Plus he was a fucking wanker and I was waiting for him to die anyway, so yeah, dropping that salt. If Kenny wouldn't have done it, I would have took it off him and just did it with fucking anything in the room. I don't know, with my fists, because I didn't like that guy. So the next decision you had is when there was the 2 guys in the barn that was obviously feeding you meat. When you come out, one of them actually trapped his foot and you had the option to kill him there and then with a pitchfork. I didn't kill him. Now the reason for it was I knew that a woman in the house had obviously Kenny's kid and Kenny's wife, and I just thought, if I kill him and then I go over there, she's probably going to be even more pissed off and might just kill Kenny's kid. So I just thought I might be able to use him as a bargaining chip, keep him alive, and then go to the woman and say, look, you know what I mean, I've left your son, now give him his son and we'll swap. If not, I'll kill him anyway, so you've got to give me Kenny's son. And I thought that was my bargaining chip, even though it didn't turn out that way. And then when it came down to the second brother, I could kill him or not. Clementine was beside me. I'm not going to kill a person in cold blood while Clementine's around. Obviously, I wanted to know that you have to kill people sometimes and you have to always kill the zombies, but if there's a guy that you don't really have to kill, even though you want to, it shouldn't always be done. So I did that for a lesson to make sure Clementine, which I don't know why I'm pointing down there, because she's down here, I couldn't do it in front of her. And then the last thing was, should you or shouldn't you take the goodies out the back of the car? And I decided not to take them out because Clementine didn't want to, and I couldn't break that little girl's heart. She's just so nice and lovely, and she didn't want me to, so I bloody didn't. Right, so now we're into episode 3, and the first decision was the girl that looked like she had already been bitten, running around going, help, 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 and I could have just put her out of misery. No, I didn't, because I would have to fire off a round, and that would make a noise, it would attract them towards us. It's horrible, the fact that she was obviously going to go through a lot of pain before dying, but she was going to die anyway, and by shooting her, actually put me and Kenny in the lines of the zombies, you know what I mean? I just couldn't put ourselves through that, just to try and make her save an extra 15 seconds of pain or something stupid like that. So yeah, I didn't shoot her, I left her. And God did she squeal for a long time. Now, the next decision, which is kind of a shocker, this is when the game started getting really spicy for me, was when the woman, can't remember her name, it doesn't actually tell her name on here, but the horrible bloke, her daughter, when she started being crazy and accusing people, obviously she ended up just shooting someone. Now, she shot the reporter on mine, and I don't think she did on Joe's, which was a real shocker because I really liked the reporter. So yeah, she died and left the stupid kid, and just straight away I was like, that can't be had, you know what I mean? I didn't know who was in the right or wrong, I don't know who was feeding the drugs to the guys, but I just thought I can't have somebody who's just got an itchy trigger finger, especially when Clem's around, so I left her to die. Now, when it came down to talking to Kenny about his son turning, you had the options to like talk it through or fight it through. I kind of didn't pick that. I just went through selecting things that I thought was sensible at the time, and then I ended up having a massive fight and a cut down my face. So yeah, I ended up fighting with Kenny on that one. When it came down to Kenny's kid turning, I ended up obviously doing it. Looking at the stats there, I think about 75% of us actually did it, which is shocking to say. 25% of people went, nah, fuck it, Kenny, you kill your own kid, which is a bit sick really, but no, I had to put Kenny's kid out of his misery. And then the last thing on that episode is when you're on the train, the 2 people you've just met was obviously running at the side of it. I pulled them in, I kept them with me. And I actually went with the bloke before the woman simply because he had a knackered leg, and I thought if anyone's going to be able to catch up, it's going to be the woman. Right, then on to episode 4. The first thing you did, you had that really skinny kid that was obviously died of natural causes. Oops, well, not natural causes, he just starved to death, but yeah, he was in the attic. I ended up killing him. I didn't want Kenny to go through killing kids because of the old thing, just losing kids, and I felt quite bad, so I ended up killing that kid for him. Then when you actually meet the old doctor in that basement, you have the option to kind of lie to him or actually tell him the truth who you are, and I just told him all the truth and got him to come with me by just telling the truth. Then when it came down to Clem saying that she wanted to go with you when you wanted a dangerous mission and you could make her stay back at home, at first I actually kind of says, no, you can't come, but obviously then it gave me the options like A or B kind of thing, and I thought, you know what, I'm not actually leaving in the house because the dickhead kid, I can't remember his name, every time I left her with her, he fucked up and I didn't trust it, and I thought, you know what, she wants to come with me, and to be fair, I feel more comfortable knowing that she's here and I probably can protect her better, even when I'm putting her in danger, then I can actually leaving her out of danger because something's probably going to happen, so she came with me. Now this is the one which kind of made me go, ooh, did I do the right decision or not? And then it kind of made me realise that I probably did the wrong thing. But anyway, what it was is that person I keep saying, the stupid fucking kid, I can't remember his name. Does it actually say? No, it said a group members in your life. It didn't give me his name. But yeah, that kid that kept on fucking up all the time. When it came to me climbing up that clock tower and he fell and he was on my arm saying, let me go, and I could pull him up, and obviously Kenny's there going, fucking drop him, mate. When it got to that bit, I wanted to pull him up at first, but then I thought, if I pull him up, Kenny's going to kill him when we get back anyway. And Kenny's going to end up doing it in front of Clementine, and that's going to be horrible. And I just thought, you know what? And because he's liability, and this is the point where we thought we was going to get 5 people on the boat. So between these episodes, I actually had a break, and I was like, you know what? When it comes down to picking 5 people, I can pick her, him. And I worked out who those 5 people was going to be, and he wasn't one of them. And I thought, well, if Clementine's got emotionally attached with this character, when we get in the boat and I say you're not coming, that's going to be really difficult to say to Clementine, well, we can't pick him because he's a twat. And I thought if he died, like a zombie at him, or do you know what I mean? If an accident happened, then it's easier to explain that to Clementine than, no, he's not fucking coming. So I thought, fuck it. Dropped him, let him die. And I thought Kenny's happy with that as well. And I thought Kenny would obviously keep his mouth fucking shut. And then we could say, oh yeah, the zombies got him. But then Kenny opens his mouth and goes, yeah, Lee did what had to be done. And I was like, oh, you twat. Why do that in front of her? So that pissed me off that Kenny did that when that happened. But yeah, I love how it all panned out. So yeah, I let him drop. Then when it came down to the old bite, which was a shocker, and I love how it was like that because that's zombies to me. Like, obviously you get all these scenarios where the zombies are coming and you protect yourself, but I always think I love them things that it's just like pow, and that's it. Like you know what I mean? That's when you're gonna get bitten. Really, it's not when 100 of them are coming at you and you're trying to protect yourself. It's just when you least expect it, you're just gonna get one just go psh, and that's what happens. So I didn't want him to get bitten at all, but when it came down to how you get bit, I'm glad it was a quick, like, you know what I mean, something that you couldn't control. And I was really upset when that happened, but obviously then it came down to, do you tell them or do you not? Now, I wanted to say, if it was a group I was more emotionally tied with, I might have gone, look, this is happening, you're going to be killing me at one point, but until then, I'm going to keep moving on. But because it was them 2 people off the train, I don't know how it all pans out for you, and it was Kenny. Now, I wanted to tell Kenny, but them 2 new people might have gone, kill him, straight away, and I thought, it's a bit dangerous, so I rolled the shirt down, didn't tell anybody. And then, obviously, Kenny found it later on, because I took him with me when I was looking for Clementine, and he chopped my arm off. Where I know some of you had to chop your own arm off. So, yeah, for you people, you're hardcore. You took your own arm. Now, on to episode 5, the last one. The first decision is when it comes down to your arm, do you obviously take it off or do you leave it? I kind of just spoiled that by telling you a few seconds ago. So, yeah, I ended up saying chop your arm off. Any extra time that you can get, then that's brilliant. But to me, I always think when you get bit, within a few seconds, if you don't remove that limb, you're dead, because obviously your heart's just pumping your blood all the way through, and I think the second that's in your blood and it's been pumped round, you're fucked anyway. That's how I think zombies work. So I thought it was useless, but I thought the game might see it in a different way, so chop your arm off and hope for the best. So the arm came off, which I think is really cool in a game. Like, games don't touch on stuff like that. You'll have like people that die, or some games just kill people for the sake of it kind of thing, but these decisions actually felt like they had weight behind them, and I was like, you know what, it's cool walking around with an arm missing kind of thing, because I've not seen that before, and it was just amazing. Then the next decision, when you and Kenny was kicking off, did you lose your temper? Yeah, I went mad a little bit, because I just thought, I remember when his son was bitten, and he was kind of in denial. And I'm saying here, like, just don't talk about it for a bit. And he's like, oh, we need to talk about it. I thought, well, it's a bit rich coming from you, so I lost my temper. Then when the stranger, the captor or whatever it is, actually comes and says, obviously, drop down your weapons kind of thing. Did you give him the blade or not? I kept that blade on me. I thought, there's not a chance. I'm killing you. I'm saving Clementine no matter what. Then when it came down to the fight, I did actually press the axe button, and he must have moved. I don't know if I pressed it quick enough or what happened. And then when I was strangling him, I'm really good at bashing buttons really fast. I've just got this thing that I do and it works. But that ball just kind of went and then stopped at the end, and I couldn't get it. So in the end, Clementine ended up killing him. And then the very last decision, the one that me and Joe kind of argued a little between, do you get Clementine to kill you or not? Now, this is a decision I found really hard to actually take, because I spent so much time, obviously, with Lee, the character. I didn't want him to ever turn into a walker. I wanted Lee to obviously just die as a human and never return as the undead. So straight away I'd be like, you know what, shoot me. But I just thought, she's a small child, and I'm asking her, like, I'm the father figure for her, and I'm asking her to shoot me in the head. And I just thought, that's a very tall order, very strong thing to actually ask from a kid, do you know what I mean? So I just couldn't do it. I just thought it's probably better for me to just say my goodbyes and let her leave, and then just gently pass. And then she hasn't got to go through that mental horribleness of actually shooting her best friend slash temporary dad in the face. So I couldn't do it. Joe did it because she says she didn't want Lee to turn into a zombie. And kind of when I says, don't shoot me, I love you, blah, 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 and she left, Joe went, you will do if she turns into a zombie now and she's got to see you like that. And I thought, oh shit, but luckily enough that didn't happen. I died and she left. So yeah, that was amazing. And then to top it all off, I don't know how many people actually missed it, but once the credits end, then you see Clementine and two figures over the hill, and they kind of turn, and you don't know if it's zombies, you don't know if it's the people from the train, you don't know what it was. And I think that's pretty cool, because I like how the game kind of just ended. When it ended, it ended. It didn't give you no like, oh, this has happened and all that lot. And I quite like that. I like Sopranos ending, and I don't know if you've all watched Sopranos, but at the very end of that season, that thing stops dead. It's just like mid-sentence, eating a packet of crisps, stop. And I like that, because there's a billion endings out there, and I haven't seen many endings that just go like that. And that's kind of why I like The Walking Dead ending, because it just stops, and then it makes you go, oh, I'd like to see a bit more. And then it gave you just that little bit more. And I thought, you know what, that's enough to make me just go, there's hope still, you know what I mean? Clementine's not in that horrible dark room. She got out with a bit of sun, and it just makes you feel a bit better. So I just think all in all, everything, the decisions that you do, the people that you meet, the characters, and then how it finishes is just amazing. And I cannot say enough good things about this game. There's no point me telling you how good this game is, because if you've got this far in the video, you've played it yourself. So what I'm going to do is leave that video there, go down on Xbox Live now, and my mate's been dying to talk to me about decisions, so we're going to have a chinwag now of what we did and why we did it. So the one thing I will say is, obviously some people that are watching this video earlier haven't actually completed this game, so try not to leave any spoilers down below. But all I want to say is the 2 cents is, do you think this game actually was a perfect game? And if it wasn't, what would you say was actually wrong in it? I'm quite curious to see what people think was kind of wrong. Now, I know a few people will say, well, no matter what you do, it never kind of changes the actual ending. And I think I kind of read this on the internet, so I'm going to steal it and just give it off like I'm really intelligent and it was from my own brain. But they said that it wasn't about changing the game, it was about changing Lee. And I think that's the best way to put it, because all that way through you could have been cold all the way at the end, and it would have finished and you would have died anyway, but you would have died as a cold-hearted Lee. But you moulded Lee and turned him into a different character that died. And I think that's the message really at the end of it. You've changed the character and not the game, and I think that's why I like the ending so much. So that's my 2 cents, just to stop the most people that would go, well, it never affected the ending. And if you want to talk about not affecting endings, go and play fucking Mass Effect, because you don't affect that ending, I tell you now. So yeah, and by the way, if you want to talk about Mass Effect, don't argue down below, because I've had enough of that. But yeah, amazing game. So do you think it was actually a perfect game? So thank you very much for watching, guys. Cheers, bye.